In our news bulletin for this evening, Team Niue make their way to compete in the 20th Commonwealth Games in Scotland. SPREP facilitates training for the Niue Meteorological Service to build partnerships with the media. Niue police learn about human rights and ethical conduct in a 2-day workshop. A Luffa South show day was a colourful display of community spirit. Team Niue have made their way to Glasgow, Scotland, with just a day to go until the 20th Commonwealth Games opens for competition. The first team to leave the island was Lawn Bowls, who left on the 11th of July, spending a week in Auckland, New Zealand to practice and train. The shooting team followed shortly after on the 15th of July, and the remainder of athletes and officials left last week on Friday. Niskaga President Des Hipper said that the team were ready to compete and all their travel and accommodation expenses were paid by the Commonwealth Games Organising Committee. Mr. Hipper expressed heartfelt gratitude to all the family and supporters on the island and abroad for their ongoing support towards the athletes. The team were in transit in New Zealand before departing on Sunday afternoon. That was New Zealand time, en route through to Sydney, to Dubai, and then on to Scotland. Unfortunately, the shooting team encountered a few problems in New Zealand, so they spent an extra day in New Zealand with one of the Niskaga officials to finalise paperwork. Sources say that the team-strong shooting team and Niskaga official left New Zealand on Monday and arrived in Glasgow today, just in time before the Games officially start from the 23rd of July until the 3rd of August. Niue is competing in athletics, lawn bowls, shooting and weightlifting. We wish the team all the best, and messages of support can be sent to them via Facebook. Meteorology staff are learning the value of building partnerships with media in a 2-day training workshop facilitated by SPREP. The Niue Met Service Director Sione Tasipulhetoa says that this is a very important part of their work. This is one component of the Finnish project that is being implemented in 14 Forum Island countries. The training focuses on helping National Meteorology Services or officers to effectively communicate information to the community. For the past 2 days, participants from various departments have been in discussions to identify ways to improve the delivery of key messages and information, as well as managing partnerships with the media. One of the issues raised in presentations was the understanding of ways to share information in a language that is easily understood and the correct use of words in translation. We spoke to one of the facilitators about the training.
We were quite surprised by the relationship that the Met Service and the media has currently. I think there is already a lot of work that has been done, and which is great, which makes the additional work and which we hope to bring value, it will be much more easier, because we feel that with all the presentations that have been done yesterday, there is already the relationship, but it's I think it's just building on the understanding of how each of the two organizations operate, and especially involving the different groupings that are involved in media, in the media on the island. So I think having all of them involved and building on what is already being established, I think it will be really great. The ultimate outcome of this workshop would be to have this partnership built between the Met Service and the media, and for them to continue the working relationship. What we will develop out of this workshop is a media plan for the Met Service, so that they know which numbers to call, how to get in touch with who, what the problems are now, how to solve them, and how to go about basically having a stronger relationship. I think that would be a really good outcome from this training workshop.
The workshop also looked at ways to build confidence for working with media and understanding how the media work in order to utilize the different mediums available for exposure and publicity. Niue Met Service are expecting more training within the next few months that will also cover areas relating to their quality management systems and processes. Police have been in a 2-day training conducted by the New Zealand Police Force under the Pacific Policing Program to discuss issues relating to human rights and police code of ethics. Niue police work involves interacting with people, and they need to be aware of what human rights conventions are applicable in Niue, and that they also conduct themselves in an ethical manner. Chief of Police Tony Edwards says that they have drafted up a police code of ethics last year that will help guide police performance. And we caught up with the group in training yesterday to see what the workshop was all about.
We've looked at human rights generally, the legislation and the constitution here that relate to human rights. We've looked at ethics and the police-specific code of ethics and the values that are incorporated into that code and what that means for policing. So how police staff will be acting if they're acting in accordance with the code of ethics, and how they act if they're recognising human rights of people generally and of specific groups such as women and children and people with mental health issues and other vulnerable groups. I think the level of understanding is really pleasing. Staff understand the concepts of human rights and ethics. They're well aware of the values that sit within their code of ethics and what it means to exercise those values or to demonstrate them when they're out policing and dealing with members of the public. So I've been very pleased with the level of understanding and of the application of it.
Police also rely heavily on legislation, but have found that current legislation at times can be outdated. That also makes law enforcement difficult. We spoke to one of the participants about her thoughts on the training and its benefits.
This 2-day workshop has helped us a lot with how we carry out our tasks, what we do in our daily duties, especially when it comes to a point where we need to arrest a person. So we got to consider their rights when they're under our care. I reckon confidentiality is important here on the island. It's a small community, and being able to not share that information out to the public, it's hard, mainly for the public to gain trust in us.
The expectation is that police will be able to use what they have learned to incorporate these values into their decision-making skills when dealing with people in the community. The training workshop concluded yesterday, but the department will be looking at other areas to help improve their services to the community. New Police endeavour to continue to build a level of respect and trust with the people. Halamahanga was covered with an array of colours as the village of Luffa South embraced the colours of the rainbow and displayed community spirit for their annual show day on Saturday. The school grounds were covered with stalls set up by residents with all sorts of food and products from sweet desserts, food, barbecues, raffles, drinks and food galore. There were also lots of different types of food. Luffa South is not only the biggest village on the island, it also has the most different ethnic groups. That was incorporated into the theme for the day, rainbow colours, symbolic of the colourful people that make up the multicultural community of Luffa South. In the entertainment, they started off with a zone challenge, dancing to J-Love's song Weunga, where the village was divided into 3 sections: Central Alofi, Upper Terrace Tupaliasi, and the Upper Terrace Funuakula zone. The women took to the stage to model some of their hay creations to show off their creativity. The Leviatana youth performed some of their well-known dances, while the Kolimaya dance group showcased a few more dances. The youngsters of Aliutu also wowed the crowd with their confidence and Yuan performances. And in the lip-sync competition, the crowds were entertained by groups and individual performances to some of the latest hits. There was a rare and delightful performance from a Madonna impersonator who threw in a few cartwheels to what was an energetic performance. A wonderful and eventful show day from Luffa South, who rounded off their celebrations with a takai and prize-giving ceremony yesterday afternoon. That concludes our news bulletin for this evening.